Hi everyone. I am going to be going live today with Smart Money Pro. I'm waiting for her to come into the Instagram live. Hey, Black Nursery Manager. Hi, Liz. How are you? I am going to be going live today with Smart Money Pro. I think she's trying to find me. Instagram live. We're waiting for her to come in. Oh, there she is. Hey, Black Let's get her in. Hi, Liz. How are you? I think she's trying to find me. Waiting for her to come in. Oh, there she is. Medea, thank you.
Am I there?
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Right, I think I'm set up now, just to balance this phone.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah, she's new to this, guys.
Am I frozen now?
Yeah, a little bit. You're a bit frozen.
How rude.
That's all right. I can take you out and put you back in. Hi, everyone coming in. Oh, God, so many people coming in. Hi, people. I don't know who's here on Facebook, but we're here on Instagram. We're live on both. Oh, she left us, so she might
join again.
Back in. Let's see. Technical difficulties. How is everyone? Hi, Josh. How is everyone? How's your day been? What you been up to? I'm just gonna see if we can request Dana back in. Hopefully, Instagram starts being an enemy of progress. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Hi, can you hear us?
Yay!
Hey.
It's working.
It's working a little bit. You're still cutting out here and there.
This
can you guys see her? Is it your Wi-Fi? She lives in Muckle, guys. She lives in Muckle. So can you hear Dana or can you hear me?
Right.
Let me know. Put a thumbs up if you can hear us.
Let's see. I just turned off the Wi-Fi.
It's the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, now hang on.
Oh, there you go. We got you.
Yay!
You keep coming in and coming out.
It's really bad. Hang on, let me see. Oh, it might be these dodgy headphones, you know.
No, okay, that's fine. No, we can only hear you. Oh, I don't think they can hear you. Talk so they can see if they can hear you.
Hi, everyone.
Can you guys hear her? Can hear you, Sharz. Right, it's maybe your headphones. You might have to take those off.
Yeah, I've turned them off now. What is? No, come on, Bixby, behave yourself.
Guys, I'm so sorry.
Yay! Right, no headphones.
No headphones because they're just mash up, and you live in Muckle, so the combination of the two is not working. Right,
it's very rude.
It's working. Thank you, guys. What joy! This is why you don't move to Muckle. But yeah, right, guys, welcome to the live. Thank you for being patient with us. We kind of did rehearse that, but we didn't rehearse it. So yeah, thank you so much. Today we are going to be talking about financial education, and I'm going to allow Dana to introduce who she is, what she does, and all that jazz. So let's go.
Hi, so I need to start by saying hi, Sharda. Thank you for having me. Big up yourself because you're absolutely incredible. And I feel very honoured to be on your platform this evening. My name is Dana, also known as Smart Money Pro. I am a fully qualified financial advisor and I am a financial coach, is actually how I started. And I help people with all areas of their finances, so like saving, investing, getting on the property ladder, moving up the property ladder, protecting themselves and their family. I really deal with strategic financial planning, so not just one area, but if I do help you with one area, it's with a kind of bird's eye view of everything that you think about. My job is really to just get people to where they want to get to quickly and efficiently.
Oh, and do you just deal with because we're going to be for the purpose of this live, we're going to be talking about critical illness, life insurance, and income protection. Do you deal with anything else outside of that?
Yeah, so the what you mentioned, personal insurances. So I am licensed to deal with personal insurances, but in addition to that, I deal with savings and investments and retirement planning, so pensions and mortgages in terms of
the whole
products.
shebang.
Yes,
whole
girl.
shebang. Yes. Okay, and how long have you been doing that for?
So I joined the team. No, I started in about 2014. So I joined a company and kind of began my career in financial coaching. I've been in finance my entire career, I should say, actually. So I studied like financial economics at uni. I've always
You know what I used to say to you?
I've always been destined to do this.
You're a whiz kid, you're a whiz box, because I don't know how you did that.
Well, I've always been fascinated by money and why people have it and why people don't and why it works so well for people. I've just seen a comment from Party Supply saying that my speaker keeps coming in and out.
Yeah, that's true. Because I was just trying to firm it, to be honest, but I didn't know if they had heard, if they realised.
Oh, my headphones were still connected. They're so rude. Never buy
that's
these.
Why. Did you?
And now I can hear you properly too.
Okay, so can you hear me now? Is it a bit better?
It's a lot louder.
Can you hear me? Okay, yeah.
It was just really quiet and I didn't understand.
Okay.
But yeah, so I joined
in and out.
I'm so sorry, everyone. Thank you for your patience. We've got good stuff to talk about, but thank you. So back to your question. I don't want to get sidetracked. I love having a chat with you. So I started in financial coaching and personal insurances, actually, so the insurances you mentioned, and I kind of studied and worked as I went along, which was incredibly intense. And from that, I qualified fully as a financial advisor and moved firms. So at present, I work in a firm that deals mainly with doctors, dentists, teachers and lawyers, but I still manage some private clients as well. So I've still got my fingers in the coaching pie because I love what I do and I've learned so much that I feel like normal people like you and I, we need to have like the inner secrets, we need to know what's hot and what's not and what we can do to advance ourselves when you're working so hard,
Yeah. The sound is so much better, by the way. I just wanted to mention that. And for a lot of reasons that don't know, Daly is actually a dear friend, like family to me. We actually met many moons ago when I was 19.
Yeah.
And we actually met because we were working at Tesco. And she was my first friend that I met there. And we met on the uniform day, so we were choosing our uniform. And I just remember someone saying, "I'm tall, so they better have uniform for me." And I used to be like, "Who's this? This is person or whatever." And then I look and we just got on literally from that day. And then we ended up going to the same uni. It's weird. Like that wasn't even and like that wasn't even planned. I think you was already going before me. But yeah, and then we ended you took a gap year and I started on a gap year. And then when you came back, I was still there. So yeah, and then we ended up being like uni and meeting in the library and all that. So we've come a long way, honestly.
It's crazy. When you put it like that, like, you forget the little things, don't you?
Yeah. Definitely.
That's so true.
Like, we do. So let's talk about the importance of insurance. Why is it important to have life insurance early as well? Because I remember I had it at 25. You helped me set it up. And I remember when I spoke to the lady on the phone, she was like, "Why are you setting this up at 25?" And I was saying,
I don't think that's the one I did. That's the one you did.
Oh, it's the one I did. Okay, well, I did one. She was very like, you're 25, you shouldn't be worried about this, And I remember speaking to you like, you better get insurance, you better get this. And then you started telling me about like income protection, like if I got sick and all this. And I'm like, what? These things exist. I didn't even know then. So let's talk about like the importance of having insurance and what are the benefits of having it and things like that.
So I think I have to say, and now I'm trying to just find a way to settle this phone because, well, my initial plans I'm going to plan, but we'll firm it. So sorry for the jolty camera, people. But so why is insurance important? I think I have to say, before I got into my role, I was like, insurance who? Car insurance is a con. They just take your money. I'd had car accidents and I'd been like burned by the useless insurance companies. And someone's just said, I love the accent, I can't pay attention. Comments are distracting. And then I was just like,
comments yet.
No, I'm not even looking no more. Yeah. And I was just thinking that insurance is a bit of a con because of that. And then I went on my first training session and they started to break down just how this worked. Yeah. And then it hit me, especially when hearing about things like income protection and critical illness, like, hang on a minute, like, wait up, hold a minute. Yeah. Why don't we know about this? Why is this like some hidden thing? It's not in the mainstream. And if it, like, I feel like with financial advice and with just kind of financial education, you kind of have to know someone or you're just left out. Yeah. Which is disgusting, which is obviously part of the reason why I started the platform. So I think insurance is important for a number of reasons, but the most important thing is to understand why you need it or what you need it for. Because if we refer back to your situation, you did take out life insurance. And when I was qualified, once I'd done my initial qualifications to advise on protection, as it's known in the industry, which is your personal insurances, I remember saying to you, oh, you got life insurance? And you was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. And when you deal with finance, I'm quite conscious not to just be getting in people's business like they invited me to, because you know what, they didn't. And sometimes you need to remember to just stay in your friend lane. But then you had your accident and I was like, right, so you've got this and you've got that and you've got this, and you were like, what? No, who? What? Nah, I'm annoyed, I'm cancelling this.
I was so upset, man. Guys, don't be like me and wait until you have a life-changing accident to then sorry, my nails look so bad. I can't wait to get my nails on. But yeah, don't be like me and wait until you have a life-changing accident and you're bedbound and can't move till you start putting these things in place. Make sure they're in place prior to that, because what Dana had actually told me, hi Daniel, hi, what they actually what she told me was that had I had these things in place prior to my accident, financially I would have been in a better situation. I would have to be living off my savings and whatever, not a little piece of savings that I had. And I was just like, what? So what? Like, it's just okay. Tell us what life insurance is like. Break it down.
Let's break it down.
Three different things for people that don't know.
If we start with life insurance is what I call the most vanilla, and it's the cheapest, right? So this is usually why people get it, because they think, oh, I need to, like you probably thought, I need to be responsible, right? I need to get some insurance because I'm an adult. Okay, great. But life insurance is quite straightforward because it pays out when you die. So people can't really dispute that, can they? They're like, you're dead or you're not.
Right.
They generally have clauses in the first 12 months that they won't pay out for things like suicide, but generally they pay out. They're really straightforward and they're really cheap. And I think the important thing to emphasize here is the reason why they're cheap. The reason why they're cheap is because we have a longer life expectancy, or as I like to say, it's harder to die these days. Because if you get knocked over and you scrape back off the ground, you might be discombobulated at the time, but you're put back together in some way, shape or form, and you have to continue to exist with whatever provisions that you have. So that brings me on to critical illness. So critical illness is a bit different. Here, you're covered for major illnesses and conditions. So the main reasons for claim are like cancer, heart attack, stroke, and MS. They're the top 4 reasons for claiming on that policy. Of course, cancer is by far number 1 because you can get it in every single part of your body, right? And when you cover yourself with this policy, it's designed to pay you a lump sum, just like life insurance. So life insurance is designed to pay you a lump sum. But the reasons why you'd have the two are kind of different, okay? So with life insurance, well, when you got it, to flip it back on you, when you got it, why did you get it?
Because when I die, I want my family to have money for my death. And I got shook because everyone around me was dying.
Okay, that's very real. That is very real.
We need to be financially compensated in some way, because I'm not a millionaire yet. So, and I just had this thing of leaving money to nephews with nothing. So I was like, I need to get it.
So that's actually the right reason. So you're thinking about your legacy on death, and it's one way to fulfill legacy planning because you're in your accumulation phase of life. So you're building, right? So at this point, you don't actually have any children, but there are children that you want to make sure are catered for.
Yeah.
And equally, also your funeral costs. So as a young single person who doesn't have assets, the main reason to be looking at life insurance is for your funeral costs and anything you'd want to leave behind to people.
Yeah, no
parents, family, whoever. Pardon?
I said we don't want no go from me. Every time I see that, my heart breaks because I'm just like,
I am offended. I'm infuriated. But then I have to remember, like I just said at the beginning, people don't know this stuff. Or the latest Jordans are more important. I don't know, but people find it hard to prioritize. So it's all about the why, right? And then if you do have children, obviously, or there are children you want to cater for, then you would get some form of life insurance. But equally, again, if you have debt, if you have a property, you want to ensure that that property stays within your family unit. That's another reason why you'd get life insurance. It really is to secure what you've worked hard for, but also to pass on something to the next generation.
We're going to answer. If you guys have any questions, put them in the question box, because if you put them in the comments, they go and we get loads of comments. So put them in the question box and we will answer them in a bit. So talk to us about critical illness.
So critical illness, which is often sold with life insurance, they're almost like a bit of a duo, but they can come on their own. And this works in the same way in that it pays a lump sum, but it pays out on diagnosis. So whereas life insurance pays out on death, critical illness cover pays out on diagnosis. So if you go to the doctors and you get the unfortunate news that you have, you know, an illness that will impact your life severely, so not necessarily like put a limit on your timeline like of your life instantly, but it will impact you, like a cancer that, you know, like breast cancer survival rates are obviously really good at the moment, but it will still impact you. You'll need treatment. There'll be a lot of procedures. So if you meet the definitions in the policy, then they will pay you that lump sum tax-free, providing all the questions have been answered. So you pass that information on and then you have that money. And again, with critical illness, you could take that out for any purpose. But a lot of people that I was fortunate enough to work with and coach at the start of my career were young, aspirational, hardworking people just like us, generally from a working class background, and they wanted to ensure that they could protect their lifestyle, because the idea behind these insurances, especially the ones that pay you when you're living, is that you're not going to be worse off than you are today. So when the critical illness payments comes, it's like you win the lottery, but the odds are probably better, let's face it, because you are likely to get one of these conditions. And you can do whatever you need to do with that money or want to do. So whether that be make adjustments to your home because you're disabled and you need to widen the door frames, or that's pay for medicine that's not on the NHS, or treatment, or investigations, consultants, whatever it is. But then you also may just decide to fly around the world. It's up to you.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is the choice part of this. This is the whole point and part and parcel of insurance.
Okay, and then income protection. This is my favorite one.
It's actually
I'm vexed. I didn't have it. Vexed. I would be
also, because it is like I had it personally. I had, as you know, was attracting accidents left, right, and centre. And I wish I knew about this policy because it would have made a difference to me. So income protection is slightly different because it pays an income. So the way it's designed is that there's like a waiting period or a deferred period. And after that time, your payments will kick in. Now, the way it's designed is that it will never pay you, like, it's based on your income, but it's never going to pay you 100% of your income because you never go back to work. So it's designed to pay you about 60 to 70% of your gross income, which generally works out to about 80 to 90% of your net income. So that means
like
you're only going to... Pardon?
It's like furlough.
Yes, like, without the tax in it.
Okay, so that also is tax-free.
Yeah, all of these payments are tax-free because you actually pay insurance premium tax within the policy premiums every month.
Mm.
So
look
that
at
they're all tax-free, which makes them even better. So then if you, for example, if you take home £1,500 a month net from your work, so after tax, and you're covered with your income protection, it only pays you 11 or 1200. Most of your bills going to be covered. Really, what's not going to be covered is the fun money. But if you're sick anyway, you're probably having a little bit less fun, or costly fun, hopefully.
Yeah,
you know. So
just order
you
takeaways
can
to the house,
maintain.
like what I did.
Pardon?
Man, I spent a fortune on takeaways, man. And I used to have to tell them when I called them, I'm like, I'm bedbound, so I'm gonna leave the key or open the door. It's open. Wait, that's what I used to say to them. And they used to come in, and my takeaway. Yeah, lock the door for me. Put it to this letterbox. I had to do that. I live by myself. You know, I couldn't move. But I could use my phone. Takeaway.
Thank God for these little computers in our hands. For real, because that's mad.
So, okay, so if someone wants to go about getting, so do you feel like everyone should have all free?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I do.
Guys,
as soon as I understood,
I believe that too.
I jumped on it. I was like, what? Is this how it works? Yeah. Okay. Let me sort out the little life insurance and critical illness. And for me, I feel like, I'm not going to lie, I think deep down I still have the mindset that I want my money. Yeah. So if anything were to happen, I want the best cover possible.
Yeah.
But equally, you're not meant to spend all your money on this stuff. It's a backup. Yeah. So you can just maintain. Yeah. So I made sure that I got out a decent, what I could afford at the time, this, beginning of my self-employed new career journey. So it was definitely what I could afford at the time. Yeah. And I took out my critical illness cover first because I wasn't self-employed for that long. Yeah. And they do look at, they want obviously like tax returns. And then as soon as I'd been self-employed for a year, I took out some income protection, which I still have. I still have both of those policies to this day. And I've taken out additional policies and top up along the way.
Right. That is something I was going to ask you. So let the people know in terms of life insurance and income protection. Can you take out more than one policy at a time?
Absolutely.
For all of them?
Yeah. The way it works with the life insurance side of things and the critical illness side of things, the insurers ask you a question on the application, and they will ask you, do you have cover elsewhere? Does it exceed? For some companies, it will be 500,000 of critical illness cover or 1 million of life cover. They'll ask you those questions. And if you're within those remits, then you don't really have anything to worry about. But you just disclose it on the application and they'll take a view. There's nothing to prohibit you from getting additional cover. You can have as much as you can afford. When it comes to income protection, it's just a little bit different. So they look at your income, obviously, and insurers have maximum insurable income. So the most that they'll insure you for. And as long as you don't kind of infringe those boundaries, then again, take as much as you can.
Yeah, so guys, check out 5 life insurance. Check out 5 critical illness. Like me,
it's true,
they told me that I could have more than one. I said, what? Come again? Paddy? I said, you should have never told me that. You should have never told me that.
Absolutely.
Right, so we got so many questions. Lord Jesus, right, Dana, first question. So, okay, I don't know if this is a question. Shalisha Lambert said, okay, so I had a call from my insurance saying that they got a medical record from my doctors and they had to put my insurance on hold till I get results back from some tests. Why would they do that?
Let's talk about the importance of getting this insurance as quickly as possible. Yeah, the day you can afford it is the day you should take it out, because statistically you're never going to be like fitter than you are today. So if there is anything that's happening in your health, they're going to want to know about it, because they're taking on the risk, aren't they? They have their actuaries who like calculate statistical risk and mortality and when people die and get ill and stuff, and they work out a price for you. There's a price on your head, and with that they'll say they cover you based on everything being normal. But if there's any tests or investigations or anything that might come up, then obviously they're going to be cautious, so they'll wait for your investigations to be finished and then they will review the situation. And there's a few things that can happen. So they can say, yes, that's fine. We understand what's going on and we're happy with that. We're going to cover you as at the terms that we've offered originally. They could say, well, do you know what? We want a bit more information, which is why they go to your doctors, or they might contact you directly to ask you a bit more about any conditions or anything that's flagged up. Or worst case scenarios, they can say no, which means you probably need it more than most.
Okay, so that answers. Thank you. We've got another one. This is from Shalina _N7 Properties. Hi, welcome. Thank you for joining the live. She said, as your net wealth increases, should you get additional cover?
Yeah, so I think it really depends on what cover we're looking at and what your needs and goals are. The biggest part of financial planning by far are your goals, really. So your insurances are like your financial foundations. And what we do is, as your wealth accumulates, so for example, if you look at where you are now in your career, or even myself, and where you were at the start of your career, your income protection needs are probably going to be quite different, because you expect to earn more in this lifetime. And therefore, you probably will have some increase in costs. Assuming there's no major lifestyle inflation, you get more money and get a bit excited, you will need to review your covers. So I think what you're asking there is, should you get more cover? And the answer to that question is really ensure you're getting regular reviews. And if you aren't able to contact the person who helped you take it out, or if you did it yourself, you're always welcome to have a chat with me. Because of Nanny Sharz over here, I am going to offer some complimentary sessions if you quote Nanny Sharz. So we can have a complimentary review to ensure that you've got what's fit for purpose for your needs. It needs to suit you. And that's what this all comes down to. I hate when people kind of band around, oh, you've got to have this and you've got to have that. It's about what you need.
Guys, make sure you get on it. Make sure you get on it. Use my name, Nanny Sharz, and you can get a consultation or review. Yeah?
Review consultation, 30 minutes.
All right. Vegan Celebrity Nanny said, do you service the US?
I wish, babes. I'm only licensed in the UK, honey. You Americans and your tax laws, are mad.
Right, next we have Made by Pat. Welcome. If your health changes during the life of your policy, do you have to update the policy?
No.
There you go.
But can I just add to that?
Of course.
If you take out a policy, so for example, I said I had all these accidents. So I would have had some exclusions, which is sometimes the result of what happens after they ask for more information. They'll increase the price of your policy, or they'll exclude certain, like my left knee, for example. Yeah. But if in 5 years or 6 years, I've had no ongoing symptoms, no further issues, it's probably worth doing your cover to make sure you're covered completely and completely comprehensively. So no, you don't have to update your policy. That's the beauty of getting a policy, as young as you can possibly get it, because it means that you're completely covered, and anything that goes wrong after that, that's what it's designed to help with.
Believe it helps you guys. I was going through some mental health issues, and I tried to pick up mine, and originally I did get declined, didn't I? Because I think it was under. What was it that happened? Did I get declined, or was it? They said
you got some exclusions.
2 years.
You got postponed. You got postponed.
That was it. Right. Because it was quite fresh. What I tried to do was, whilst I was still broke up in bed, I tried to take out insurance. And they were like, you're not even healed yet. So I had to wait until it got a bit better, and then I tried again, and then I was able to get it. So don't be deterred by that. I'm just trying to get through the questions. There's so many questions. Love More Update says, do you have to pay up front for funerals, or is it covered out of your will?
If your will has money, then it's covered. If not, then tumbleweed.
There you go. Love it. Live and direct.
Yeah, it's after probate. So assuming that we're in the UK here, because I can only really talk about UK laws and regulations. You can only access your estate once it's gone through probate. So you'd need to ensure that your will and affairs are in order. This month is Wills Month, by the way, so you can get a cheap will done from a solicitor. But you need to make sure your affairs are in order, and that those funds are accessible.
Yeah.
By your
If you guys
executor.
need any help with this, contact Dana at smart_money pro. That's her Instagram. You can follow her and make sure you send her a DM and you guys can set up a review. She's amazing. I'm not just saying that because she's my girl. She actually is like, she knows her stuff. Anything to do with finance, I'm calling her like, Dana, what does this mean? Like, that is literally, she's our go-to person, like, in our group of friends. So please reach out. We also have a question from Mommy. Hi. Spice_lady. She says, what is a good life insurance? Any recommendation?
A good life insurance is the one that pays out. And the best time to get it is the day before you die. But because you don't know when that is, you want to just get as much cover from wherever you can. What I would say is, having looked into something for a friend of mine's mum, she has a medical condition, and so part of what I do as an advisor is we have the facility to contact the insurers to discuss any pre-existing conditions and how they would treat that on your policy. And even like height, weight, BMI stuff, anything that could affect the price or the cover that you could take out, part of my role is to do that initial research to make sure we go with the right one for you. Because you might apply it with life insurance, if I'm really honest, get the cheapest one, because it doesn't make a difference. As long as they pay their claims, which you can check their claims payout statistics on their websites, it doesn't matter because it's so black and white. When it comes to critical illness and income protection, you want to make sure you're getting comprehensive cover.
Okay. Guys, you are just getting hella gems, you know. Don't say I'm not the plug. I don't set you up. We've got some more coming in, and we've got more updates. Says, can you add critical illness to an existing insurance policy without it affecting your current insurance payout?
So you can't add critical illness to an existing policy. You can sometimes, depending on life events, increase your cover. You have what's known as GIOs, or guaranteed insurability options. So you can look at increasing existing cover. However, if you don't have critical illness cover, the beauty of it is, if you were to take out new critical illness cover, adding life insurance generally makes it cheaper. But it's better to have them together, because with critical illness cover, you have a survival clause. So because it's designed for critical illness, not terminal illness, you need to survive a certain number of days, weeks, whatever it says in the policy conditions. With life insurance, it includes terminal illness cover, which is basically, you've been diagnosed with a terminal illness, we expect you to die within 12 months, you get the payout.
What if you survive?
If you can get, so I actually literally have a client, yeah, bless his heart, who has cancer and has the most insurance policies, but no one will sign him off for that terminal illness. No one will give him that life expectancy letter, so the insurance companies won't pay out. But for example, my aunt, who had cancer but cancelled her policies, she was diagnosed terminally ill, and she would have got the letter. Obviously, she didn't have a policy.
I think your Bluetooth thing has connected again, because you're in and out. Just double check.
No. Let me just.
Oh, it didn't. Okay, sorry.
Sure.
That's all right.
Turn off the Bluetooth, so it cannot possibly do that.
Okay, because it was just like, excuse me, you tried to cut me off. I'm still alive.
No, sorry.
All right, let's see. We've got some more questions. Let's see. Who have we not had? Kalisha says, is this insurance essentially just for self-employed people?
It's for everybody. Every person who is over. I think you've got to be over 18. There has to be, in insurance law, what's known as an insurable interest. So there has to be a reason for you to take out your cover. But if you're doing it on your own life and you have an income, this is for everyone. It's just that it's important to know that as a self-employed person, you can kind of sort out your own sick pay, because when you're self-employed or a company director, you're essentially responsible. Big up yourself. It's a wonderful endeavor, but it's not easy. But you're also, in addition to running your business, you're responsible for giving yourself the benefits that you would get if you were employed. So one of those things, I've worked with quite a lot of small business owners and company directors, and one of the things that we help them set up are income protection, the pensions, doing all the planning and stuff as tax efficiently as possible. So no, it's definitely not just the self-employed people.
It's for everybody.
For everybody.
We've got more questions. Could it decrease your policy in any way? What decrease your policy in any way?
I think this was the individual who asked if you could add it to existing policy.
Oh, so, yeah.
So this is kind of similar to your question as to whether you can have more than one policy. Really, you just take out a new policy, to be honest. I think you'd have to. A big part of what we do is reviewing people's policies, because you take out something, if you're like 25, 30, and then 5-10 years down the line, you think, oh yeah, that's great. And I'm like, and I see so many people and I'm like, why do you have this? And they're like, oh,
you did it for me. You did it for me. And I was like, what is that? Right, cancel this, boom. I said, oh.
And there's lots that we can add as advisors. There's a lot that, like, little features that we can add that aren't necessarily available directly to consumer.
Yeah. So, love more updates. If you're in the UK, please contact Smart_Money Pro. Let's get that sorted for you. Okay.
Right. Get in the DMs. I'll give you my email address.
Nanny Sharz.
Yeah, quote Nanny Sharz. Quote Nanny Sharz for that consultation.
Yeah. Let's see. We got made by tax say payout for life insurance. Is it immediate to a beneficiary or to your estate?
Well, Pat, my dear friend, I'd have to say, is your policy in trust? Now, if you've set the policy up yourself, then you need to ensure that you know the ways to ensure that it's as tax efficient as possible, especially with something like life insurance. However, if you've set it up with an advisor or a broker, we will know the little things to do. So you need to ensure that your life insurance policy is in trust if you have any kind of inheritance tax issues. But even if you don't, it's a lot more efficient time-wise to have it in a trust, because it gets paid directly to the beneficiaries and it doesn't have to go through the probate process. They just need your death certificate. So it depends on what you set up.
We've got some more. Guys. If you got more questions, please come in. Chanela _ M7 Property says, once you make a claim on the critical illness, does the policy end?
Yeah. It's not like bingo, like, that's it. You've got one policy.
You have one policy. So I make a claim on critical illness and I get a payout. Can I then take out another one?
If they'll insure you, but it's quite difficult to get insurance.
Yeah, because by then I'll have a critical illness. Sharda, you should have thought about that question before you said it.
However, I did have another client, again, a medical professional who had cancer, and she'd got her critical illness lump sum payout and paid off her house and was going on bare holidays, loving life. And she was like, oh, I was like, well impressed. Luckily, nobody that I've set a policy up for has had to claim, because whilst we want you to have these covers, we don't actually want you to have to claim. But this individual was in a really great financial position, and she was like, oh, can I get income protection out? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I'll have a look, though. I was thinking, not likely, love. But they said, one company in particular said, actually, after 5 years of being clear from whatever her issue was, I think it was a cancer, she was good to go, so she could get covered. So it does depend on, it's just having the know-how of who to approach and what to say.
Dana,
to talk to.
Hello. Money Pro name. Why everyone always laughs at me in my life? Like, they just don't respect me. I don't know what it is. But anyways, I love y'all. We've got, I think, one more question. Party _ Supplies UK. Check them out, guys, for your party fees and all that.
Yeah, amazing.
Are there any providers that you recommend for life insurance, critical illness, and income protection?
Recommendations come with a financial review. I'm not trying to lose my license.
Right. And guys, make sure you understand. I did put a disclaimer. This is not financial advice. You are not being advised. This is just for information purposes. The views expressed. Anyways, right, moving on. Right, that's what we got through all your questions. If you have any more, please do put them in the question box. Guys,
can I say something?
Yes, go ahead.
A question that usually comes up is regarding comparison websites, and it's quite valid because we compare the market for everything, right? So why wouldn't you for life insurance? So for life insurance, like I said, go for it, get the cheapest thing out there. You only need help around the technical aspects of things like the trust and stuff. So if you do it on your own, you've got to sort it out on your own. But if you do it with an advisor, it's something they'll do for free as a matter of course. Or you could pay a solicitor a couple of £100, up to you. With critical illness and income protection, it's not that straightforward, because with those policies, especially something like critical illness cover, I once had a client challenge me on the difference between the cheap one they'd found on the internet and the comprehensive one I was recommending. And I was able to produce a report and show them just why, the additional conditions covered, the claims payout statistics. So it's all good having these insurances, but are these companies paying the claims, the definitions, the wording of the policy, the financial strength of the company? There's so many different aspects to a plan. Yes, my job is to make it all sound really simple, but there's a lot of detail and there's a lot of research that goes into understanding the quality of the plans that we have available and that we recommend to our clients.
Yeah. Love more updates says, I'm scared of losing my current value if I change. Remember, you can have more than one. Remember, you can have more than one.
Have a review. Let's
have a review, because what you might find, I said the same thing to Dana, and then when she broke it down, the policy I had was rubbish. It was mash up. It was rubbish. I was like, I had nothing to say. So in the end, you might think. It just worked. I don't know what I did. I just was like, I need life insurance. £8, yes, thank you. I was just being cheap, but I didn't know. And you don't know what you don't know. But it's like, with parents with me, a lot of them do things and don't really know. But then when they get an expert like myself that comes in, and I can show them and teach them and support them, then they're like, wow, thanks for this extra knowledge. So definitely, love more updates. Please make sure that you contact Dana, and she can just have a look at yours. She might even say, oh no, this is good. This is, or she might say, you're missing this, or you want to be covered for this. Whatever it is, just reach out, because you don't know what you don't know. And if she's got the knowledge that you don't have, I say, what is it? Two people better than one, isn't it? Unless you want to be single like these. Someone said, let's see. Right, we got some comments. Alicia Lambert said, you're amazing, so professional. I'm proud of you. So proud. Thank you. Thank you. But I'm saying thank you. We got respect to you both. Thank you, love more updates. We've got party_supplies UK saying, hold on, give me a second. Said, you actually just answered the question, Dana. Comparison market online. I was asking for someone. I'm sorted. My day big up. Oh, okay. DM is sent. Yes. But thank you guys. If you found this useful, please give us some. Purple love. I want to see some purple love hearts if you found it useful. Make sure you share it right now. You see that button down there with the arrow going up. Share it with someone who you think would really benefit from this. And if you guys have any more questions for Dana, please let us know. If you're watching this back on the replay, please comment, like, save it, send it to people. So I'm going to put her Instagram name in the comments, and I will just give me a second. I will. Is it smart_money_pro?
Yeah, that's the one.
All right, let me just quickly. You guys are moving too quick. Yes, let me see. I'm trying to pin it.
Loving the purple love hearts.
There. Right, guys. There you go. Smart underscore money pro. Go check out Dana. Send her a DM. If you have any questions, or you know anyone that's looking for a financial advisor, or someone to just review the policies they already have. Remember, you can take out more than one. You don't need to be self-employed. See, all these people love hearts. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. This is why I do the live, so we can all share this knowledge. I hope you all learned something from this. Dana, you're amazing. I love you to pieces. Thank you so much for joining me on my live. Her first live did really well. Give us some claps, guys. Oh man, she did so well. So proud. Like, so proud.
Thanks, guys.
But yeah, guys, listen. Like I said, I'm going to be going live every single Wednesday at 8:30 UK time. So please make sure you tune in. This, you know, if you have only tuned into this one, look back at the previous one. I did one about counselling. I did one about IVF last week. Prior to that, what did I do one about? I can't remember. My memory bad. So just have a look back. We're going to have some more lives. We're going to have some more guests. Sometimes it's just going to be me talking about different topics. But yeah, I just want to make sure that we're talking about things that are not normally spoken about. So if you do know anyone that would want to join me as well and collab, please send them my way. Tell them to DM me. I'm down for collabing with people. I've had a few people get in touch. And yeah, I'm feeling good. Oh, and if you guys have not already, please go listen to my podcast feature on Nanny ABC's Next Steps podcast. I posted it yesterday. I was talking to a nanny in Chicago about mentoring and just the importance and just my journey and stuff like that. So it's really important. I need you guys to listen and, you know, share, comment, like, all that stuff. And if you haven't already, sign up and subscribe to my YouTube page, because this is going to go in there as well. So you can always watch it back. And I'll be posting more videos on there as well. So I just need the word out. Dana, do you have any announcements? Anything you want to say to people? Any last words?
Thanks for taking my live virginity. It's been amazing. No, honestly, thank you for having me on and making it like such a joy. It's been so fun. And do you know what? We've had really good questions. And I hope I answered everyone's questions sufficiently. You can find me on Smart Money Pro. I've got a little back catalogue of some podcasts. I'm having a midlife crisis in podcast world. But I'm going to revive those soon. And I'm working on my content. So come over, follow me at Smart Money Pro. I really think it's important to kind of build your financial knowledge. And these sayings of like financial freedom and like all of that stuff sounds lovely and all, but it's all about what you want for yourself. So I'm here to do that. I'm here to help people build their wealth through assets, not just insurance, but insurance. All the insurances that we've mentioned are clearly really important and a part of your like financial foundation, so you're building on something solid. So get at me if you want a review. You can quote Nanny Sharz because she's a legend. I love you. I think you're amazing, and I'm so proud of you also. Any questions, feel free to drop me a DM. Really, really happy to help. Let's get everyone covered. Let's get this sorted.
How can they find the podcast? Tell them how they can find the podcast and listen to the previous episode.
Thank you. That's a good point. So my podcast is on SoundCloud only at present. Working on getting that onto all platforms. If you go to my Smart Money page, you'll see a link to the last episode that I did. I have got an episode on insurances. I've also got one on budgeting. There's going to be a pension one coming soon because that's really a popular topic. But literally, I'm qualified in all areas of financial planning. I'm a strategic financial planner, so I'm here to kind of find that nifty way, find the trick, save you money, save you tax, make you money, help you in all things money related, and I'm fully qualified to do so. And I've got my little FCA license and all those letters behind my name to prove that. So get at me, yo. Holla. Happy to help.
Holla.
Mainly on Instagram.
That's the first thing that comes
Yeah, and I'll put my email address up as well if anyone wants to contact me directly for inquiries.
Right, put your email address down so we can
Okay,
you're
Bobby.
officially my girl. Yes. That's what we like to hear. Let's help support each other. Dana's going to put her email down, so you guys screenshot. Make sure you share this. Strategic, so posh. I'm bare smiling. Hi, people in Facebook. I abandoned you guys, don't I? I just don't chat to you down there. Sorry. Dana just putting in her email. And then I will. Let me see. She's put it there. Let's see.
It's an inquiries inbox.
There you go. Right. So it's for the Facebook people. It is smart.money.pod, which is POD, at gmail.com. That's smart.money.pod at gmail.com. So if you have any inquiries, you can send her a DM or send her a message via her email. Okay. Thank you guys. I hope you have an amazing evening. I have non-stop been working. I've been up very early, so I'm gonna try and have an evening to myself. I eat work. So but Dana, if you could possibly, just give me a nice little smile, because what I'm gonna do is try and find this part.
I'm sorry. I can't help it.
I try and find this part in the live and use it as our cover. Right? So ready?
Yeah. Okay.
1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Come on, folk. I need to get a grip. I'm so sorry.
Anyway, I love y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next week. Well, tomorrow I'm going to be on the Nanny Hookup, so see me tomorrow at 9 p.m. Yes. Love y'all. Take care. Bye bye. See ya.